Hello, my friends. Welcome again to Life in a Bubble, where we do things a little bit different than other people due to an illness, health condition, or disability. And we have to live our lives a little bit different, like in a bubble. If you know of somebody who can enjoy or need from our channel, send them this video, share, subscribe, and give us a like. We really appreciate it. So, my wonderful bubbles, let's start. Well, today we're making vegan pancakes, buckwheat and oatmeal vegan pancakes. We can make them for lunch, breakfast, or brunch. And they go amazing with a smoothie. Remember the video before? You haven't seen it? Go ahead and look for it. We do have a smoothie that goes perfect with these pancakes that we're making today. We're gonna be using buckwheat, as you guys can see, which, by the way, doesn't have any wheat or gluten. Also, we're gonna need baking powder and we need some flax seeds. Flax seeds are very healthy and have 6 grams of protein per serving and are very good for smoothies, but I'm using them today for pancakes. They have only 180 calories and a gram of fat, and also 10 milligrams of sodium. Also 0 sugar, 0 cholesterol, and it's great as an egg substitute. By making it into a fine powder on your blender and then adding a little bit of water, it will turn into a gelatinous goo, which you can use as egg substitute. Same you can do with chia seeds. The same process you can do with the chia seeds, and you can use them as egg substitute when you blend them and mix them with a little bit of water, and it turns into that gooey gelatinous thing that you can use as an egg substitute as well. Also, I'm going to be using for this just a pinch of salt, and also I'm going to be using an olive oil. Remember, buckwheat has no gluten and no wheat, even though that is called buckwheat. Why are the oats and buckwheat in these containers? Well, I used to go to the bulk store to get all these supplies and bring my own containers, but it was before all this situation happened. So now I will have to bring it in this little plastic bag that they provide, which I try to avoid the best possible. But right now, the way that we're living, well, it's a very, very particular time. So this is the way that I have to bring it home with the little baggies, and I buy a bunch of oats, as you guys can see, and put them in the jar that I already have at home for it. As you can see, my oats are in this huge container, and it's because, like I said, I used to buy them in bulk. All of these is what we're going to need. We are going to blend 2/3 of cups of oatmeal to make it into a fine oats or a finer powder. I'm using this blade because it's the best for this job, to make my oatmeal into a very fine, thin flour. And here you can see how it ended into a very fine powder. And now we will add the rest of the ingredients. We are going to add 1 teaspoon of flax seeds and 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. And we're going to make them into a fine powder like we just did with the oatmeal. Same process. We are going to do it the same way so they turn to a very fine powder. Most of the time, the oatmeal pancakes are made with eggs and or bananas, but I'm saving my bananas for the smoothie, so I'm using flax seeds and chia seeds instead. And instead of eggs or bananas, here we have them. Now we are going to blend them, and they turn into this fine powder. We are going to add water and let it set So it has time to turn into that gooey substance or gel that we are going to need. Here is them changing into the gel. What we're going to do is we're gonna take a 1/4 spoonful of baking powder and add it to the dry ingredients in the meantime. While this turns into that goo that we need, we're gonna take the baking powder and add it to the dry oatmeal that we have in here. And we're also adding the buckwheat. A spoonful of buckwheat is what we're going to add to this mix, as you guys can see it right in here. And now we are ready to mix it all with a pinch of salt as well. And now our flex / chia gel are going to be added into our dry mix. And we're going to start incorporating them together. And you can add water to your taste. And make sure nothing stays dry. Mix it very well. And keep mixing them. Yep, just give it a minute to settle. Make it as thick or as fine as you like the mix. It's all to your taste. In the meantime that this is getting the consistency that you want, mix it very well. Make sure that there's no dry sides or anything dry stays in there. Just add water to your taste again and keep mixing it. In the meantime that you are still mixing this, you can put your skillet on the stove so it can start getting hot for when this is ready. And we are going to keep mixing because it has some little lumps in here that we want to get rid of. There we go. We're getting rid of all the little lumps. So that way we have an even mix for our pancakes. Like I said, have your skillet ready and your olive oil, because you're going to use a tiny bit of olive oil. Or you can even use avocado oil or coconut oil, whichever you would like to use. Because you're only going to use very little for this recipe. Okay, I think this is mostly even now. Yep, the consistency is good. I like the way it is. So we are going to put our skillet and our tiny bit of olive oil. Today I think that's yep, I'm going to use olive oil today. I was thinking about coconut, but no, olive oil is good. The smell of it and the taste on the pancakes is amazing. Okay, so we have our skillet. And we are getting the olive oil all over our skillet while it gets hot. This olive oil that I'm using is not sponsored, but it's one of the best olive oils in the market. And it's from Aldi. And you can see it's one of the best in the markets. A lot of nutritionists are recommending this oil. So you guys can find it at any Aldi supermarket. It's amazing. I love it. And it's not sponsored, like I said, but it's the one I use. It's the one a lot of nutritionists are using. A lot of people are talking about it, and it's really, really good. So let's try and see if the skillet is hot. We are going to put a pinch of our mix and see how hot it is. Yep, it looks good. so we can get the rest of the mix into the skillet now that we saw that the heat is good. I'm going to be taking a spoonful, or actually I'm going to be using an ice cream spoon. One of those ice cream spoons that we have at home, yep, to make my pancakes, because that's the one I would like to use today, and be able to spread them. Make them as big or as thick as you want. As you can see, I have a problem with my stove. It's completely unbalanced and things, go to one side. So I had to be like moving the skillet to make it sure that everything is even. So that's why I'm spreading it like that. But I hope to get a new stove pretty soon. So now we spread it. And like I said, you can make it as big or as thick as you like. It's all up to you. If you want to add any fruits to it, any sliced bananas, any kind of berries, you can do it right now while it's cooking. You can just go and use your imagination and just get it done. I have my stove right now on number 4, but it depends on your stove, how hot it is or how fast it gets hot. So it will be just a medium, I would recommend. Also, if you don't have any chia or flax seeds, you can use applesauce for this recipe, which is another egg substitute. So if you like them on the sweet side, you can use applesauce, and they will taste amazing. So bananas, applesauce, chia seeds, flax seeds, they are all egg substitutes, and they go perfect with these pancakes. So you can use any of them. And I'm getting the pancake ready to turn, because I see on the sides that it's getting a little darker. Of course, that I have to be moving the skillet because of the problem I'm having with this stove, which I hope goes away pretty soon. And I get a new one that I do not have to be doing this with. But just waiting. Now I turn the pancake, and you guys can see the changing color. It's kind of tan. Here we have it. Ready? And we gotta be adding honey to this one. Or you can use maple syrup or agave, whichever you want. Here is the second one. Don't they look delicious? They look amazing, huh? Well, now enjoy with the smoothie I already showed you how to make on my previous video. Or you can enjoy any way you like. It will be at the box of information at the bottom, the recipe, and also the one for the smoothie. So remember, living in a bubble doesn't make you weak or fragile, because you are a different person. Living in a bubble is just being unique, different, colorful, and free. Remember to subscribe and hit like, and see you next time. Bye-bye.